power of the heart. Finding your inner wisdom.
The power of the heart.
Finding the power of the
Finding the
heart.
power of the heart.
The power of
Power
the
of the heart. Power of the heart.
让我们寻回心的力量。The
Power
power
of
of
the
the
heart.
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Yuru Chao. You are tuning in to the Power of the Heart on Dai Radio. We have been watching news about missing flight from Malaysia Airlines. It has been the center of international attention for almost about a month. The agony and anguish of the family of those on board the missing flight have been widely reported, but little attention has been paid to their caregivers. Volunteers from Malaysia and Taiwan and China have been tending to them day and night since the flight disappeared, with 239 passengers and crew on March 8th. These men and women, volunteers from Buddha Tzu Chi Foundation in their blue and white uniforms, are emotionally drained and physically exhausted after lending their ears and shoulder to these family members. Still, they said they were happy to be there for the next of kin. Former businessman Danny Lee. He's 53 and he has been stationed in Beijing on the volunteer assignment, counseling family of the Chinese passenger from day one. It was not an easy task for Mr. Lee, who also served as a translator. He said, sometimes they would get angry and start shouting, he said. I would just sit there and let them be because they needed someone to listen to them. Other times, they would get a bit rough, he recalled. I would hand them some tissues or hold their hand to comfort them, and they would pull away, telling me, I don't want your acting. It was tough, but I understood what they were going through. Another Tzu Chi volunteer, who's Mr. Tan, has been attending to the families staying at the hotel nearby. The mother of the two, who is in her 40s, had taken leave from her job as a lecturer to help out. And Ms. Tan said, I'm here from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. providing emotional and spiritual support, she said. She said there were rough patches when emotions run high among some family members. One woman was very frustrated and was shouting and complaining. I sat quietly and let her have her way. After she had calmed down, she apologized to me and I told her everything was okay. Miss Tan said, I'm happy that I can be their shoulder to cry on. It was a sorrowful sight to see broken-hearted people sobbing here and there. However, Tzu Chi volunteer and Malaysian Airlines staff were there to counsel and care for the family members, hand in hand with the families of the missing flight, and they went through these difficulties together. These Tzu Chi volunteers are able to give unconditional loving care because they cultivate moral discipline, wisdom, and their center mind unswayed by external conditions. Otherwise, it would be easy to stray from their practice of giving relief through difficulty time and continue in the face of the challenges working in disasters. Such is their inner practice for the Tzu Chi path. In our program today, we'll be hearing a reading on Master Cheng Yan's teaching on inner practice for the Tzu Chi path, and this reading is provided by Dharma Master Derling. Then, after a short break, we'll discuss this teaching with Ms. Yan Li Ni.
Brush strokes lightly as the heart soars, wipe away pain, push off darkness, greet the daybreak, catch the sunshine, heal all sorrows, and embrace life. No more failures, no more struggles, just embrace life as it unfolds. The past is over, let it go free, seize the future, hold on to hope. 'Cause you'll never give up, so just choose the past today. A heart of tenderness, hence the strength from within. 'Cause your dream stays alive, never let love slip away. In this tender world, we had a heaven for us all. Cause you'll never give up, so just choose the past to take. A heart of tenderness, hence the strength from within. Cause your dream stays alive, never let love slip away. In this tender world, we had a heaven for us all. Brush strokes lightly as the heart soars, just embrace life as it unfolds. Greet the daybreak, catch the sunshine, seize the future, hold on to hope, seize the future, hold on to hope.
You are listening to The Power of the Heart.
The Power of the Heart, Part 3, Walking the Bodhisattva Path of Tzu Chi. Today we will be listening to the teaching on Inner Practice for the Tzu Chi Path. In Tzu Chi, our practice is to enter into society with the spirit of selfless love that the Buddha teaches, the 4 immeasurable minds of loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. But to work in the world, we will need to cultivate moral discipline, wisdom, and a centered mind unswayed by external conditions. Otherwise, it will be easy to stray from our practice and difficult to continue in the face of the challenges of working in the mundane world. Upholding the precepts is the way we practice moral discipline. The precepts outline for us the right path, and as they do so, they protect us by helping to keep us away from wrongdoing. As we work in the world, our hearts can very easily become tainted. The precepts guide us to cultivate purity of heart and mind. It is this inner purity that enables us to touch an inner state that is very tranquil and pure. Having a centered mind unswayed by external conditions is also very important. This quality of mind is called samadhi. When our mind abides in samadhi, it is calm and stable, grounded in right view. Such a mind does not easily react to outside conditions with greed, anger, hatred, and other impure conditions of mind, and we can achieve a state of meditative concentration. Developing samadhi is essential, for as we engage in the world to work for the greater good, we will inevitably encounter difficult situations. The world is very complicated. Working in it involves many challenges and troubles. If we have not developed samadhi, which gives us an unshakable mind and purpose, how would we be able to do it? Moreover, everyone has their personality, habits, and personal ways of doing things, and this can make our work tough or frustrating. If we have not developed samadhi, our minds will easily be affected by the conditions around us. Because our minds are constantly reacting, our wisdom cannot arise. It is like a lake whose water is stirred up. The water is muddy and light cannot penetrate through. Only with samadhi and by developing the capacity to not be perturbed by circumstances can we develop wisdom and insight. Wisdom and insight are what allow us to continue on our path and not give up. In Tzu Chi, as we walk our path, we are also continuing to pave it for others, so that they may join us on our journey. This is because we should not only care about our own enlightenment, but should vow to help all living beings to enlightenment. Without wisdom and insight, it will be hard to continue with this. This inner practice and cultivation of moral discipline, samadhi, and wisdom is hence essential as we walk on the Tzu Chi path. Only through such practice can we attain an inner state of great purity and silent tranquility, giving rise to selfless vows that are as boundless as the cosmos, vows that we hold on to unwaveringly for countless eons of time.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lini Yan. I'm from Neihu, Taipei, Taiwan. My favorite Jingzi aphorism is to forgive others is to be good to oneself. I like it is because I get angry a lot. And so I have to remind myself not to get angry, especially people surround you, especially my husband, my son. So this Jingzi aphorism reminds me that yes, just forgiving others. Otherwise, it's hard for myself and hard for others too. May wisdom and inspiration be with you always.
Dai Radio is just a click away. You can listen to the Dai Radio anywhere in the world. Our special guest today is Miss Yan Li. She is an English and Japanese volunteer at Tzu Chi, offering her language skill as a translator to guide visitors and visiting volunteers who don't speak Chinese. As a full-time volunteer, when not translating, she is actively learning and gives of herself to help any function she can. She's also a recycling volunteer because she believes in using her hands and love to save the earth, recycling one piece of paper or a plastic bottle at a time. Besides volunteering, she's a loving mother for her son. Welcome to the program, Li. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
You are very dedicated to volunteering. I'm sure I only know about some of your projects. Please share with us all that you do when you volunteer.
Well, sometimes I do volunteering work in the community and sometimes in the recycling center, and also being the tour guide for visitors who visit our recycling center, or sometimes helping people who visit Tzu Chi Hospital in Xingdian, or our Dai TV station, yes, and many other various kinds of jobs.
I remember you told me that there's a special conference in Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital once a year, and you always help out there. Can you tell us more about that project?
They hold the conference and inviting people who are interested to devote themselves helping people who are disabled in mentally or physically, and by doing these horticulture project and helping them to get better. So where the conference is actively working in Taichung, then I will go there to help as an interpreter.
Do I understand this correctly? Horticulture therapy, is it like what we call aromatherapy? It's another way of using plant product to help patients recover more naturally.
Yes, helping them to do some work to take care of the plants, and then or do some handcrafts by using those plants or flowers and help them feel better. And by doing these work, they can move their bodies, their hands. So it's kind of a rehabilitation to them.
Oh, I see. So it's not just aromatherapy; it's also a rehab. Helping patients to get in touch with the Mother Nature, and through their interaction with plants or tending to the plants, they can recover much faster from their illness, be it bodily or mentally.
Yes, that's true. Right.
Wow, that's very special, unique conference that we have in our Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital once a year. It must be a lot of fun being a volunteer.
Yeah, truly, because for 3 or 4 days you will be assigned to accompany one of the speaker. Most of the time I'll be assigned to a Japanese speaker, then I'll stay with he or she and have more interaction with these people.
Great. The more you learn, then you can closely translate for this person. Now, I know you have been a Tzu Chi volunteer for a long time. How does being a Tzu Chi volunteer changes your life?
Well, I've been serving for about 10 years, and I found that I'm more tolerant and more endurable to situations, and I'm more capable to control myself.
So in the face of hardship, because of your Tzu Chi volunteer experience, you'll find that it is easier for you to control yourself, to see things clearly, and to be able to overcome whatever that is putting you at a very difficult spot.
Yes, yes.
So that is such a a unique benefit of being a Tzu Chi volunteer, because very often people go through a lot of self-help training or any type of self-management training trying to learn skills like that. No one ever realized that being a volunteer, you get these very valuable skills while serving the public and being very joyful to see all these smiles from the people you're helping. Being a volunteer, it is, like we heard from Li Ni, it has a lot of challenges. And that's why we often want to listen carefully to Master Cheng Yan's teaching. And Master Cheng Yan mentions that there is inner practice for all the volunteers to constantly practice every day. And that is, remember to practice moral discipline, samadhi, and wisdom. And there's a term that's very Buddhist, and I think many people don't understand what does it mean to have samadhi. What's your interpretation of samadhi?
Actually, I'm learning from it. I'm still learning it because, through our daily lives, we interact with different people, and there are so many things happen to us, around us. And so I don't feel it's easy to get that kind of state in mind. So I am still practice on it and just try my best to do more reflection and listen more teachings and have more thinking about things, how I react.
Indeed, to have samadhi type of mental state, it means that you have to have such centeredness of mind to be in total tranquility. Doesn't matter what your surrounding environment is going through. It could be people fighting around you, or it could be people laughing with such a joy, and yet your mind is at peace, at calm, and no matter what happened around you, you see things very clearly. Now, that is a mental state of the Buddha. We are walking on the Bodhisattva path, and we try to learn that, and it will take a long time with a lot of practice, but that's our goal, and we're trying very hard as we're working on our volunteer project. And we learn a lot from being a volunteer because we serve people no matter what's going on, be it people crying, or people laughing, or people accusing us of any type of things that's not true. And we are very committed to our mission, and we serve them with compassion and wisdom. And if we can do that, then our mind is at samadhi. Well, thank you, Li Ni, very much for coming to our program. Our time is up today. We'll be listening to this book over the next several episodes. Please join us next time to continue our discussion on the power of the heart. If you want to read this book we're talking about, you can find a copy of this book in any Jingsi bookstore and cafe. For more teachings from Dharma Master Cheng Yan, please tune in next time to our program. Goodbye and have a great day.